I got caught carrying like an idiot the last weekend. Not made a little adjustment, caught full on, shirt hung up, grip flashed, and a guy 2 pumps over at the gas station clocked it and gave me that look. Not scared, not impressed, just really. My stomach dropped because he was right. I picked a gun I love shooting and I hated carrying it. So right now, heading into late May, when the heat starts changing how you carry, this list isn't about the tightest groups or whatever the internet swears is the meta. It's about what stays on your belt when you're sweating, sitting, bending, moving. When life starts exposing what actually works. Because this is the time of year where a gun that felt perfect a month ago starts getting left at home. These are the 9mm that carry without drama, draw clean when your grip sucks, and don't turn into a project the second you stop babying them. And yeah, one of these surprised me so hard it pissed me off. Stay to the end. Last month, I was stuck in brutal stop-and-go traffic on Loop 1, 604 in San Antonio. Sweat running down my back, while the AC fought a losing battle against the May heat. The CZ-P10S had been my everyday carry for weeks. Thin, light, easy to forget it was there. Exactly what I wanted. Then some asshole in a jacked-up truck started riding my bumper hard. Flashing his lights, laying on the horn. Traffic wasn't moving. My hand dropped to the P10S under my shirt. That's when it hit me. The grip felt smaller than I remembered. Almost too small. My sweaty palm had less to hold on to than I wanted in that moment. For a few long seconds, I sat there wondering if this little thing would actually give me the confidence I needed if he jumped out. He finally swerved around me at the next exit. Middle finger in the air. Nothing happened, but that moment stuck with me the whole drive home. On paper, the P10S does everything right for daily carry. It disappears. It's comfortable. Most days I don't even notice it. That day, though, I caught myself second-guessing what I had in my hand. Like I'd been lying to myself about how much I trusted it when things actually felt tense. That feeling hasn't left me. I walked into this one biased. I admit that. In my head, HK pistols always had that feel. Well-built, dependable, serious, and also a pain in the ass under a light shirt in May. Older HKS felt like somebody designed them around durability first and comfort second. Great guns, not always the first thing I grabbed for everyday concealed carry. So when I picked up the HKCC9, I expected more of that same attitude. It didn't feel like that. I wore it all day in a light shirt and forgot it was there. And that's not something I say about HK. No belt fidgeting, no lift the hem, check the grip nonsense. Every time I stood up, I got to the end of the day and realized I hadn't been thinking about the gun at all. And when I did notice it, it was because it felt practical, slim, clean, like somebody finally designed an HK around regular carry instead of pretending everyone lived in a jacket. That's why it mattered in May 2026. People lived in lighter clothing and had zero patience for bulky compromises. The CC9 felt like HK finally moved into that lane. But the doubt stayed there because the price tag sat around $700 to $900. At that money, comfortable didn't impress me. It was supposed to be normal, so the question stuck. Is the CC9 actually great, or is it just the first HK I didn't feel like ripping off halfway through the day? Then I carried the next one, and that question got louder. Late May 2026 is when people stop lying to themselves about carry. Thin shirts, sweat, more sitting, more getting in and out of the car, and the whole "it's fine" routine collapses. Because if your holster setup sucks, your gun sucks with it. The Springfield Hellcat Pro went on my belt like it was supposed to be the easy answer. Everybody recommends it. Every shop has one, so I did what a ton of people do right now. I ran a good enough holster because the exact one I wanted wasn't in stock. Close fit. Same idea. I told myself it didn't matter. It mattered. By lunchtime, it started doing that slow shift. Tiny at first, then nonstop. Sit down, it changes angle. Stand up, the grip edge shows up. Bend for a bag, it rides up just enough that you start touch checking it. like a nervous habit. Not because it's unsafe, because it's irritating. And irritation turns into doubt. That night, I ran it cold. First mag, no excuses. It shot fine. It ran fine. It wasn't the gun falling apart. The Hellcat Pro doesn't forgive sloppy carry the way people think it will. It hides the problem until you're living with it, and that's when it starts costing you attention. What came after that was a pistol that stayed put even when my setup wasn't perfect. And that's the kind of confidence that hides problems until they matter. Around weeks 2 ago, I was just grabbing lunch at a Whataburger off I-35 in New Braunfels. Middle of the day, nothing special. I had the M&P Shield Plus in my pocket because it's so slim, and I was feeling cocky about how well it hid. I was walking back to the truck with my bag when this big dude stepped out from between two cars and bumped me hard on purpose. My drink spilled. In that split second, I went for the shield. My hand hit the grip, and it felt tiny, way smaller than I remembered in my head. The draw was clean, but the gun felt like a toy in my palm. No confidence, just this sudden sick feeling that I'd brought a letter opener to a knife fight. He saw the gun, threw his hands up, and backed off fast, muttering some bullshit. I stood there holding it, heart hammering, feeling like a complete idiot. The Shield Plus had done its job on paper. It was there. It came out fast. But in that one stupid moment, I realized I'd been lying to myself for weeks. I'd chosen it because it was easy to carry, not because I actually trusted it when shit got real for even 5 seconds. That tiny grip and that rush of doubt hit me harder than the guy bumping into me. I still carry it sometimes, but every time I do, I remember how fast my ego got checked and how quick I knew it wasn't enough. I really wanted the Ruger RXM to be the answer. Modular, optics ready, decent price. For 2 months straight, I forced myself to carry it every single day, telling myself the modern features made it the smart play for 2026. Then came that long Tuesday. I was driving between job sites near Boers, running late when I had to make a quick stop at a gas station. As I reached across the seat for my wallet, the RXM's grip module dug hard into my side, not a little, enough to make me wince. In that exact second, I felt a flash of pure frustration. I've been ignoring the same pinch for weeks, adjusting, shifting, pretending it wasn't wearing on me. I sat there with the truck running, hand on the gun, and finally admitted it out loud to myself. This thing is never going to disappear the way I need it to. It's not a bad pistol. It shoots well, and the modularity is clever. But in real Texas, everyday carry, long hours in the truck, bending, sitting, moving, it stayed in the way. A constant reminder instead of a tool I could forget. I stopped carrying it the next day. The RXM looked like the future on paper, but it never became invisible when it mattered most. And the next gun on this list, that one finally did. A buddy of mine on the law enforcement side stayed boring about pistols in the best way. No trends, no new hotness. His whole filter stayed simple. If a gun didn't give him control under pressure, he didn't want to hear about it. So when he said, "I've been running the SAR9 Gen3, I laughed. Not because I thought it was junk, because in 2026, people hid behind easy names. Glock, Smith, Springfield, HK, like saying the brand out loud counted as reliability. He didn't argue. He just handed it over on a busy line and said, "Run it cold." Then he hit me with the line that stuck. It doesn't feel cheap when the sights come back down. Timer beeped. First string, I expected that budget slop. Muzzle bouncing, sights hunting, me chasing the gun. Didn't happen. The SAR came back flat. Sights dropped right into place like it knew the way home. My splits tightened without me trying to coach it. I stopped managing the pistol and started managing hits. My buddy just watched, nodded once like he already knew where this went, and at $400 to $550, that's not a deal. That's an accusation, because it makes a bunch of pricier, safe bets look like they're charging for the logo. The only thing I still don't have is the long record. It felt right fast, and that's exactly how people get fooled. Then I picked up the last one and remembered what safe bet money actually buys. 3 weeks ago, I was coming back from a late job near Seguin when everything went sideways. It was already dark, pouring rain, when I saw a truck flipped over on a back road off 123. I pulled over to help. As soon as I got out, two guys came out of the tree line fast. One with a tire iron, the other holding something in his waistband. They weren't there to help. They were there for the wreck. And now me. My heart slammed against my ribs. No time to think. I drew the Glock 19 Gen3 from my appendix holster while moving behind my truck door. The grip filled my hand perfectly, even with rain pouring down my arms. The Gen3 texture didn't slip. I put the dot on the first guy's chest and gave one hard command. My voice didn't shake this time. They froze. For 3 long seconds, the only sound was rain hammering the metal. Then they backed off slow, cursing, disappearing back into the dark. I stayed behind that door, gun up, breathing hard until their taillights were long gone. The Glock 19 just sat in my hand like it belonged there. No doubt, no second guessing. Just quiet, heavy confidence, while my legs still felt weak. That night, I understood why this gun has stayed on my hip for years. While others came and went, in the moments that actually matter, when it's dark, when you're alone, when the stakes are real, the Glock 19 Gen3 doesn't negotiate with your fear. It just works. Everything else I've carried this year was practice. This one is the answer. What actually carries like it's supposed to and still runs when you're tired, rushed, and irritated. Some of these feel perfect on the range and turn into a pain in the ass the second you live with them. Some feel boring in your hand and end up being the gun you trust because it never demands attention. That's the whole point. Now, tell me the truth in the comments. What 9mm stayed on your belt for a full month without you fixing it? What gun did you want to love, but you couldn't stop fighting the concealment? And what's the one that embarrassed you in public so bad you dumped it? I'm Steve. Keep it real down there. I read the ugly stories first.